Today's episode is brought to you by Kangaroo. Kangaroo was created to ensure that everyone has access to home security. Every product Kangaroo makes starts with 3 questions. Is it simple? Can it be produced at a price that everyone can afford? And is it secure? With Kangaroo, you never pay for unnecessary bells and whistles, and you know your data is going to be secure. The front door security kit is a simple setup with no tools or tech geeks required. If you have Wi-Fi and a smartphone, you can use Kangaroo. Go to heykangaroo.com to learn more and start keeping your home safe today. And be sure to use the code RINGDONG for 20% off any Kangaroo complete subscription order. You are tuned in to a female-hosted podcast who values you and your time. Each week, I will deliver short and sweet perspectives with no sidekick. So please, sit back, put your feet up, and allow me to bring you Drea's point of view. Hello, you have tuned into Drea's Point of View, and I am your hostess, Drea, and I am back for season 2. It's been a nice break, but I'm glad to be back and bring you my content. Today's episode is L.A.T. Living Apart Together. I have to dedicate this episode to another podcast that I listen to, Chilling with Juice Pod. One of his recent episodes touched on it a little bit, and I've never heard about it. Well, I've heard about it, but I didn't know that was a term for it. And I was like, you know what, let me look into that. Might be something interesting to discuss. I know a long time ago, Dennis Rodman did it with his wife at the time, and Carmen Electra. They lived, and I thought about it. I'm like, that's interesting. I kind of like that. So do you think you'd be able to do that? Now, I'm someone who, in my past episode, I talked about long-term relationships and how I've done that. And I'm willing to do that again. So I don't think it would be much of a problem for me. Don't know if we could be in different states if we're married in separate places, though. I don't really see that, but I can actually agree to that. Let's just suppose, give an example. There was a guy that I was talking to, and we discussed it, the marriage thing, and we live in 2 different places, and he owns a home. So, and I definitely don't want to move where he is, so he'd have to move where I am. He'd have to get rid of his place. I'd have to get rid of my place. We'd have to find another spot. And I'm like, it's the thought of giving up my place. Now he has to find somebody to, he has to sell his place. It's just a racket, really. I don't know. I just think it would be just so much more convenient if everybody just keeps their own. Then again, I'm someone who wants to pay for my own stuff. So that's why it would work for me. Some women don't take their spouse's last name. You get some women who don't work. Some couples even sleep in separate beds. I knew of a couple like that. I don't know how long they did it. I didn't ask. They were actually relatives. And whenever we would go to their home, they would, she'd have her room and he'd have his. And my mom and I never really got into detail about that, but it just always was curious to me. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of like it. I like my own space is what it is. I just enjoy my own privacy. Not like I try to do anything undercover, have people over, or cheat on you, but just my own. There's nothing like peace and quiet when you come home. When you live with somebody else, you don't know what you're coming home to. And as a woman, you probably have to worry about cleaning or cooking. And if I don't want to do that, it's the obligations. I just don't really, not really a fan of the obligations. And then it's just, I don't know. I think I could do it. I really do. There was an article written this year in April, marriage.com. It talks about those type of couples. The younger couples, they mainly do it for financial reasons. And most people who do it tend to be over 60 because they like their independence. They've been married before, lets them keep their own lifestyle. They don't really feel like taking care of anybody else. They keep in touch, obviously, by, you've got the video chat. If you don't really feel like coming over, they can come over. If you guys get into an argument, there's none of that. Somebody getting in a hotel, you can go home. I don't know. I just would love it. I like that idea. The disadvantages say that there's a lack of intimacy. Communication sometimes gets lazy where you just text each other and, call each other. And, trust issues may come into play. So these relationships are really only for those with faithful beliefs. The way I see it, someone can cheat, and they always do, or usually do, while you're living with them. How do you know what someone is doing when you're not with them anyway? 2011 stats. 2 million Canadians live that L.A.T. lifestyle. There is a dating app, which I didn't look at, called a partner, with couples who are interested in that. There was an article in the UK, Daily Mail News, that had research that involved a nationwide study that found that 25% of couples have an L.A.T. arrangement. We know of some celebrity couples that do that. And if it works for them, who am I to judge? I think I could do it, though. I really think that I could. Okay, so let's just say different lifestyles. Say if that person is a morning person, I'm clearly not. Say if that person is a slob and I'm a neat freak. It's just so much that you really have to deal with and sacrifice when you live with someone. I don't think I'm up for it. I really don't. I've had my share of roommates when I was in college. Didn't like it. I really didn't. I long for my own space. And that's really what it is. I'm a private person. I'm an independent person. I like my own space. So I think I would really enjoy this lifestyle. What say you? You have been tuning in to Drea's Point of View. I can be heard on Podbreed Network, Good Pods, Top Black Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Spreaker, and more. Feel free to leave me a comment on my website, www.dreaspointofview.com, or on social media. I'm on Facebook and IG, Drea's Point of View, as well as Twitter, Drea Point. It's been my pleasure bringing you a part of me, and I hope that you remain to be a listener. Until next time, take care.